Before we start the show, let's hear from one of our sponsors. Their support keeps this show free for you.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Thanks for joining me on the Peace and Parenting podcast. I'm so glad you're here. What if I told you that forcing your child to be more social actually harms their confidence? Because when we constantly push our kids into uncomfortable situations, we're actually teaching them not to trust their own intuition, not to listen to their gut. And this pressure can lead to anxiety or fear of situations. And ironically, it can make our child feel less confident in certain situations when they're not ready to engage with other people. This just isn't about temporary shyness. It's about giving your child the fundamental tools they need to navigate the world with security and resilience. Let me tell you a little story about my sweet little Pia. She was what you would call a shy child. She would cling to me at all moments. She was not interested in ordering her own food or talking to adults when they greeted her. She was very reticent to talk to people and kids. And it made me feel a certain way because when your child won't engage when someone says, "Hi, Pia, it's so nice to see you," and she's totally mute, it makes you feel as if, oh, I have a child who is disrespectful or unkind or doesn't have manners. But I learned the hard way that when Pia wasn't ready to talk to whomever it was, she wasn't ready to talk to them, not because she was being rude or because she was unkind or she didn't have manners. She was listening to her intuition. And she was listening to her gut. And I needed to respect that. But like most of us, we've been taught to have manners and speak to adults and look them in the eye and shake their hand. And my parents forced me into answering the phone. Kenny's residence, Michelle speaking, and talk to people who I didn't even know, announcing who I was on the telephone, even if I didn't want to. And so we come from this background. We come from the background that, you have to be kind to adults. And if you aren't being outgoing and if you aren't engaging, then you are rude. But allowing a child to come to their own thoughts and their own ideas is much better. So Pia and I went to a birthday party once, I remember it distinctly. It was at a bounce house place and it was crazy. There was so much going on and people were coming. We knew everyone at the party because it was a school party and everyone was coming up. "Oh, hi, Pia. Oh, hi, Michelle. How are you?" And I was greeting people and saying hi. And Pia was, of course, had her head in my, legs, wouldn't turn around, wouldn't say hi to people. And she just felt intimidated and she didn't want to leave my side. And I kept trying to push her. "Pia, you should get out there and play with someone. Pia, oh, look, there's your friend over there. Mia, she's looking for you. Why don't you go bounce with her? Oh, look, India's here." And the more I did that, the shyer she became because she wasn't ready. And so I learned that day that it wasn't really me, or it wasn't really her that needed to change the way in which she engaged in the world. It was me who needed to see her as in her development, right? And I kept thinking she's never going to grow out of this shy period. She's never going to come around. She'll never be able to order for herself. Everyone's going to think she's rude. And so when I started to change my mindset around that, when I started to think, you know what? She's going to get there when she gets there. And the best thing I can do is be here for her. And my mindset needs to change that she is in this very normal developmental stage. And being shy, quote unquote, is just a child listening to their own instincts. And so when we have these kinds of kids, we have to meet them where they're at. We can't push them beyond where they need to go, and they will get there. If you want to know more about kids and their emotions, you should listen to last week's episode, Stop Thinking Your Kid is Too Sensitive and Why Tears Don't Mean Fragile. It's a really good episode. Before we dive into the next segment, a quick shout out to our fantastic sponsors who make this free podcast possible. Are you a mom who feels like you're juggling it all, but something just feels off? It could also be your hormones causing this chaos. Hormone Harmony contains science-backed herbal extracts called adaptogens. Now, here's the beauty of adaptogens. They help the body adapt to any stressors like chaotic hormonal changes that happen naturally throughout a woman's life. That's why Hormone Harmony is perfect for women of all ages who are struggling with life-disrupting symptoms such as PMS, like irritability, moodiness, discomfort, or uncontrollable cravings, and menopause with symptoms like hot flashes and night sweats. The results are impressive. There are over 40,000 reviews on their website. Women cannot stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. So for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code PEACE. Check out happymammoth.com. Use the code PEACE for 15% off today. Are you sick of the sibling fighting? Are you tired of asking your child to do the same thing over and over and over again, only to end up using threats and bribes to try to get them to cooperate? Well, it doesn't have to be like that. You can learn the ideas of connection through our Connected Parent Mastermind group coaching program. We meet 3 days a week. Myself and my 2 coaches hold meetings. We also give you access to all of my online materials, meaning 10 modules of instruction, PDFs, podcasts, and my book. You get to join our school community and interact with coaches and myself and so many parents who are doing this work just alongside you. So if you're feeling stuck, or if you want to accelerate your connected parenting practice even further, join the Connected Parent Mastermind. Click the link in the show notes for more information. Okay, back to the episode. So once I decided that it wasn't her that needed to change, it was my mindset that needed to change, things got a little bit easier. And I just allowed her to sit with me. I allowed her to take her time. And with that support, she was able to take more chances. She was able to go out on her own when she needed. She would always come back. If she needed to come back, I would always be there for her. So instead of saying, just go play, try to acknowledge their feelings. You can say, I know it's hard. I'm right here, and you can stay with me until you are ready. That's a great one. Another thing that you can do is really reflect on their experience when they do join in. Not saying, oh, look, when you join in, you had a really good time. Instead, you can say, oh, hey, you played with India on the bounce house yesterday. How was it? What'd you guys do? What were you talking about? Was it fun? And let her reflect through probing questions around how she felt about that experience on the bounce house. And then outside of that, and I always say this for people, lots of people will say, oh, my kid's really bad at math, and so I need to get a math tutor, which isn't a terrible way to go. But I think there's another, idea out there that if your child is bad at math, do we spend more time doing English because they're really good at English, and celebrate their English and build up their confidence around English so that it will translate to their math? So I like to recognize P. I used to like to recognize P. I still do when she's dancing, because she, this seemingly shy kid is a dancer, and she'll get up on stage in front of hundreds of people by herself and dance. And so I always say, wow, Pia, it's such a joy to watch you dance. And I can just see your self-confidence come through when you do. It's so fun to see you do that. And just helping her feel good and celebrate around dance, but translates into more, self-confidence in other areas. So if you're struggling with this, think of those ideas. Don't just say, go play. You can say, I know it's hard, I'm right here, and I'll stay with you until you're ready. Reflect on their experiences when they do join in and ask them, how was it? And then recognize their really important strengths. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe or follow the podcast so you never miss any of them. It would mean the world to me. And I can't wait to see you next time. Thanks for joining us on the Peace and Parenting Podcast.
Hey there, Peace and Parenting family. If you love the podcast but wish to enjoy it without interruptions, your wish has come true. Introducing the ad-free version of the Peace and Parenting podcast, available exclusively on Apple Podcast. As a subscriber, you'll get all the heartfelt advice, parenting stories, and actionable tips you love without any ads. For less than the cost of a coffee each month, you will enjoy uninterrupted listening while also supporting our work to help you build stronger connections with your kids. Try it out for free. Simply find Peace and Parenting on Apple Podcasts, click Try Free, and you'll gain immediate access to our ad-free episodes. There's no commitment and you can cancel anytime. So if you're ready for a more peaceful, uninterrupted listening experience, subscribe now. Let's keep focusing on connection without the distractions.